Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, days and dems, welcome back to another episode of Negro Jump. Negro Jump. Man, I don't even know what the slogan description is for this show. I've changed it so many times. Now I'm sticking with anime and gaming with comedic timing.
Oh,
That's the best way I can think of to summarize just everything that goes on here, not just with Negro Jump podcast, but Jump ENT, all the things. As always, follow us on all the things, but enough of the usual things. Returning guest, long time. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Last time we had you on, you were in the basement.
yeah.
You was in the basement again, and now we're in a different basement in Brooklyn.
Yo, this shit is nice though.
Yeah, nice little recording studio, Work Heights. They gave us a spot to use for a year. Definitely gonna run it up. But welcome back, Idris Alton.
Yeah,
everybody.
man. It's been a minute.
It's been such a long time. The world changed, man, since the last time.
Yeah, I think it was like right after the pandemic. I hadn't moved yet. I had 2-strand twists. My life was different, man. I was just
we were trying to record on Cordero's rooftop.
Yeah, I remember that. It was just
It was 4th of July.
Yep, a breeze. It was sunny. It was nice.
Fireworks
blowing off in the background. It was like, what is this? I thought it was nice, but it was like, yeah, that wasn't the perfect situation.
We were trying to piece it together. Yeah, I had a whole afro. Yeah.
Yeah, times.
Yeah.
No, that is crazy.
I remember somebody commented. It was like, yeah, like we saw you on the clips. So it's like you had the Donald Glover going on.
Yeah.
Then when I popped out in late 2021, that's when I brought the waves back.
Yeah.
Like, damn, this nigga 360 now. I'm like, I mean.
It's a different.
My man said, he's just like, yo, wave it. I'm like, I ain't doing shit else with it.
Yeah.
Fuck it, man. But yeah, because you've been growing your shit like since I met you here in New York.
Yeah, when you got here, I think I was growing. And then the craziest part, when you got here, I was like, grew it out for 5 seconds, and then you know how it is. It's ugly. It's like at an ugly stage, and I had to cut it.
First, them 6 months.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
I had to cut it and regrow it out, and then I think when the pandemic hit, it was like, who gives a fuck now? You ain't got to go outside.
Mm-hmm.
You go through that ugly phase without anybody, and you pop back out, and it's like, oh, look, he got hair. You just went into the hyperbolic chamber and came out grown.
I was paranoid to get a haircut for a minute, even when things were slowly rolling back up. Because, like, I don't want to be back in the barbershop for 2 to 3 hours on an afternoon. I've got addicted to appointments now.
Yeah.
I got addicted
That's the right way to live, man.
Making appointments. Now I'm trying to find that balance of, like, okay, I think it's a little too much, you ask. I feel like it's a little too much. If we can keep it in that $50, $60 range.
Yo, they're crazy. This is the thing that happened with growing my hair out, is that I learned how to do my own hair at a certain point, like recently within like the last year. And then ex-girlfriends were doing my hair, and then I didn't have to go to no shop. But I did like connect with someone who was doing a loctician. The craziest part of locticians is that I have barbershop loyalty to them, and I shouldn't, because they live in like Fulton, and I don't even live nowhere near there. It's like a 2-hour trek to come. And it's like, I guess
they the only ones
to
get your hair right.
Yep. And it's like a barber. I'm over there no matter where they move to too. I'm going to where they go. But then in the in-betweens, I'm like, I guess we'll make this like a 2-month type of thing.
I'm trying a new barber now. First it was the lineup. I'm like, that was cool, but you cut me up here.
No, that's
I'm like, okay, I get it. I got a haircut from him recently, and now you done marked up on the lip, and I'm like,
man,
I think we're done.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think the cut overall solid.
Yeah,
solid cut.
But you got marked though. It's right here. That's
now it's on my lip.
That's abusive. Like, this is an abusive relationship,
bro. I'm like, I just can't. That's something I've been wanting to explore on stage with stand up now. It's like talking about the relationship between a black man and his brother.
It's serious.
It's very serious, especially now. It's just like, bro, we talking 25 for a shape up.
Yeah, that's the crazier part, because I was about to go get lined up, and I realized it's in Queens, so I'm not seeing who I want to see to come in and sit in their chair. I'm looking at somebody. I'm like, nah, not you. Yeah. And I'm like, nah, I can't come in here and trust this.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I might have to go back to Harlem. Find my Dominican guy that was doing my hair, see where he's at. Like, hey, yo, Poppy, hit me up. Because I'm not about to trust that.
Yeah, nah, you definitely can't. But enough about that, man. What's going on with the anime? What you been watching? What you into?
I've been watching. I watched Pluto. I did watch Pluto.
Okay.
It was not it.
Netflix series.
Yeah, it was all right. It was. And then, because I've been doing a lot of research for my own animation, so just watching a lot of different stuff. And then, you know what the craziest part is? I've been falling asleep watching old Dragon Ball Z.
That's how it be.
And I've been watching that for like the last 3 weeks, like finding myself falling asleep on the couch and watching the YouTube talks about like re-evaluating certain sagas, about what it was about, what was going on behind the scenes in animation, because I'm so into the animation part that the people talking about it, yo, the insights made my whole childhood look different. Like, I was like, whoa, this was going on?
Bro.
Different people were animating one episode to the next one, and you were like, why is that one so ugly?
Yeah.
And you'd be like, damn, that one was good. This one was ugly, and then it's corporations involved. It's like
they had to pull 3 artists off of this episode to make sure this one goes
yeah.
work. Like, you familiar with Jujutsu Kaisen?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The thing is, I didn't get into season 2 because I think my subscription went away. I didn't know. And then Crunchyroll subscription. I was like, damn, where the fuck? Where am I gonna find this? And I didn't want to go do those weird sites anymore. I'm not doing that shit no more. I'm not doing that. I'm a whole adult. I'm not doing that. Having a bunch of pop-ups and shit. I'm not doing that no more.
Especially now, like when it's on your phone, it's like, this look crazy.
Ugly.
This look crazy.
Look, and you on the train trying to live, and I don't need these moments where someone looking over my shoulder like, what is that?
Oh, yeah. It's so apparently what happened with Jujutsu, they did the second season, and only thing I kept hearing was like, yo, the animation isn't keeping up, like, with the expectations of the season. Yeah. That people have for it. Me, I'm too wrapped up in One Piece. Mm-hmm. Like, it just got that hot in Wano with Kaido. Yeah. Like, we got to this moment that all of us been waiting for almost like 5 years for. Yeah. Like, since the moment they named this motherfucker and we watched him fall out of the sky. Mm-hmm. These niggas been fighting for like a year straight. Yep. For a year straight. So it's like we in the thick of it with One Piece. Like I was saying earlier, like I'd stop letting episodes stack up and it's like I gotta watch it week to week.
Back to back, yeah.
Now I gotta watch it week to week now because it's getting that intense. But they figured it out. They got the budget. Other studios are like, well, we doing seasons now. It's a lot going on. Yeah. Mappa took it over. Yeah. Mappa handled Attack on Titan and like a bunch of other, I think Chainsaw Man. It handled mad other like hype shows.
And when you do that, you gotta deliver. You can't be out here like I remember what was that? The second season of One Punch. A lot of people's conversations were like, "What the fuck?" Because the first, when it got into a fight scene, all the details. You didn't have to worry about nothing because that's the best part of reading the manga. You know it's gonna look good. You don't have no conversation about it looking good. But when it gets animated, you're like, yeah, it better look like it did. And if you're gonna change it up the right way. That was the biggest part of watching a lot of stuff over. You'd be like, damn, I settled for some bullshit. It's like looking back at a bad relationship. It's like, damn, I was going through some. What was I watching this? This is ugly as hell.
That's my argument with the One Piece manga now because it's so storyboard. Yeah. Like now it's not even like panel to panel, like fully drawn out. Like it looks very. I kind of don't even want to say like rough to sound like disrespectful, but like just. It was just done kind of like in 2 takes, and then it's like send it out. Whereas you get to the anime, and they using every color on the spectrum, putting patterns like in the clothes where it's like we got to keep it one piece. We can't change it fully. We can't go 3D. Like we can't go too crazy with it. So how can we make this just stand out more?
And that's the thing that's happening with a lot of animation. They like to put 3D backgrounds behind these animations now, which isn't bad. It's just like that's not my childhood. It just looks like you look back at old stuff, and I saw a YouTube video analyzing. You know, like they want to go on video essays, and I'll watch it. I don't care. I guess I'm one of the people because they'll go in on the 90s animation versus today's animation, like 90s, 2000s, the ones that we got introduced to, where you're looking at Cowboy Bebop, and then they're comparing it to something today that's like, all right, this is a whole different style when you're looking at Rui Kenshin, and then now you're looking at this, and it's like, well, there's a palette being used. And what One Piece is doing with the palette in terms of colors is the right thing to do, and not get too 3D, because it keeps all the people into anime now and back in the day watching it, because that's what you like about the old style, is that they're not doing too much with
all in the skill of the pen.
Yeah.
All in the skill of the pen, the frame, the panel, and that was all we needed. And then here come Demon Slayer just kicking down the door.
Yeah.
2017, where like even the manga, I'm like, how do you even translate that to an animator? That like, this is what's going on. He's spinning around in a room that's spinning around him. Yeah. Like
it's a lot to do. And I mean, I like what they do because it's creative as fuck with the way that they make it happen in an animation. And I just don't want too many people that aren't doing that when they first drew the manga to reanimate it just because they see other people doing it. It's like, hey, that was for Demon Slayer. This ain't for you. Just don't do that shit just because you can.
That came out of that guy's head.
Yeah.
We still don't understand how he got to that.
Yeah.
Like, honestly. Like,
yeah.
Like, how'd you be like, this is what it's going to look like, but this is how I got to sell it?
And that's what I like about when the manga or the people that actually created the original idea are also involved in the animation, because then you can see what they thought. They probably were thinking in animation when they originally drew it. They saw it all in full. But now you got some other studios involved. When other studios get involved, shit get watered down.
That's what made the live action One Piece work.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Oda being like, all right, I signed off on the final draft of the script.
And that needs to happen every time. Every time.
Because I knew we weren't getting what we wanted. It was going to be nowhere close to it. But since Oda was like, I signed off on it, it's like, so this is going to be palatable.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody.
Yo.
And it definitely
that is what happened over the last 2 years. It's so much more live action bullshit has come out. I'm not trying to shit on nothing. I've watched only dabbles of it, but nothing made me more sick in my life than seeing Cowboy Bebop be done like that. I was like 2 episodes in, like, all right, niggas, come on.
Bro, when I seen the trailer, I was like, oh yeah, this ain't. I didn't even watch it, but I was like, this is not going to be anything close.
And it's the tone. Like, it was already like, all right, I see who's acting it. I'm not even mad at you. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Cast was fire.
Right. I'm like, this could go good. And then you saw how they visualized it, and it was like what One Piece did. It was like the same tone and the way that they drew it. The first episode wasn't nothing. I was like, you could just watch the movie of Cowboy Bebop and know how to start a Cowboy Bebop movie or Cowboy Bebop show. That's all you got to do. You don't even have you don't have to even put the main characters on the screen yet. That's not even their style. Like, hey, bro, 90s. Just, you don't have to get silly with it. Just 90s. You didn't have to do nothing. All you have to do is watch a Quentin Tarantino film, and you know what to do. Yeah. Like, bro, you fucked this all the way up.
Yeah,
you didn't even have to switch. I thought the other part that got me was like, this is Netflix. Y'all do movies like this all the time that are in Cowboy Bebop style. Why'd you switch up? Goofy.
Trying to sell it to everybody else?
Didn't need to, because Cowboy Bebop got an audience already.
We're now in an interesting space where live action adaptations can be pulled off and in every which type of way. Mm-hmm. So I'll say the first successful one I watched personally was the Bleach.
I didn't see it.
The one Netflix they pretty much published
right
over here because it was made in Japan. Mm-hmm. They just threw the Netflix in on it and put it on the app. But it was a one shot, just one and done movie. Ichigo getting the powers. Yeah. So, like, the first episode, fighting the same Hollow from the first episode. Mm-hmm. Then it's just, like, a very quick montage of, like, my brother's coming. He's looking for me. We got to get you ready. And then they got the big fight. But the whole time they kept it grounded. They kept it realistic. Where, like, this is a 16-year-old with a giant sword. There's no way anybody can make it look practical, him swinging this around. Mm-hmm. So he's going to be planting it, launching off of it. doing maneuvers around it to block an attack.
Yeah.
Like keeping it practical. Have you watched the Yu Hakusho?
Yep, I was just thinking about that. I was like, the way that they did that, I liked it. I did like it.
They focus heavy on the choreography.
Right.
That's what saved it in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Because
the fights was what kept me watching the show.
Man, because I have mixed feelings about it now because I definitely called it I'm like, yo, this is going to be the best live action adaptation.
Yeah.
I definitely feel a little less about that statement. I still feel it. I'm still letting it digest.
So which one do you think is the best so far?
It might just be One Piece just off of pulling off
what they were supposed to do.
Because that's a big
to me it's going to be daunting for the seasons coming up because it gets more and more out there.
But getting the first season done and introducing everybody, and that was the roughest part. Like, how you gonna make this work? Because from here, there's no looking back.
This
is the most normal it's going to be.
Yeah, that's really all. That's why I was like, it ain't gonna stay as easy.
This is the most vanilla One Piece is going to be live action is them fighting fishmen.
Yeah,
it's going to get wild.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, I don't know how you gonna have somebody fall out the sky. Let's see how this goes.
Because it's going to I see them going at least to Skypiea.
Yeah,
that's just too fun. Like if you're going to do Alabasta, you got to do Skypiea.
Yeah.
But live action, it might just be Yu because of the choreography.
It was perfection, I think, especially from watching it on Toonami as a kid and watching it then. It was like, this is the best part of the show was the fights when I watched it as a kid, but I didn't know they were going to do that in live action the right way.
They over-delivered.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we really going to show you a 16-year-old
getting busy.
Getting the job
done. Yeah.
From the first demon was just like, damn, they've been fighting for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, they was going in. I was like, this is good. I liked all of it. So
it was all survival and just I just gotta knock them out. I just need just one clean hit.
Yep.
And we could stop all of this tussling.
Yeah.
Tentacle arm coming out. So for me, it was because I remember watching the trailer and I'm like, all right, we seen the trailer, and then you see Toguro. I'm just like, oh, they bold for this one. We doing Team Toguro season 1 of Yu.
Yeah.
We not gonna do be Kurama and Hiei. We're not gonna do Genkai's Temple.
Yeah, they wasn't playing safe.
We not gonna do Rambo. We not gonna do Four Saint Beast.
Yeah, they went straight to, and that's what I was impressed by, that they even went there from the first place, and then who and how they introduced all the characters was like that in the fights. I was like, this is exactly what I'm expecting.
When Bui showed up with the giant axe, I'm like, now this feels like I'm watching Mortal Kombat.
It got there.
Because this feels like I'm watching Mortal
especially
Kombat.
Like those last three episodes or something. Those fights all felt like they feel like flashback fights from the original Mortal Kombat. And I saw not Street Fighter, but the Mortal Kombat that just came out, those fights, I was like, oh, okay. Because that's the type of stuff that I get mad about with live action, is that I watch so many just fans make stuff on YouTube that be like, why are y'all not doing this?
How come he doesn't have money right now? How come he doesn't have the studios backing him right now? The guy that did it was that Mortal Kombat pilot from 2010.
Yep.
Had Michael Jai White in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think 2015, it was that indie movie called Power/Rangers.
Yeah.
That did.
That, and then I remember I don't know why they didn't get enough money for it, because they seemed like everybody loved it, was the the Dragon Ball Z with Trunks story. And I was like, it was Gohan in it, and they showed the death of Gohan. They showed Trunks as a kid working on his skills and then it never had another episode. And I was like, this does so much better than anything that you even seen live action Dragon Ball Z. And then some of the stuff that like fans make about anything be crazy. I don't know if you saw the Dragon Ball Z animation where it's the it came out. I saw it was done in a style that was similar to like some of those new Thundercat ones, but it retold the story of Broly coming to Earth in the middle of one of the Budokai fights, and it was Goku fighting Chi-Chi, and it was like, oh, okay, this is real early. He's coming back. So Broly just landed, was like, hey, yo, the fuck is you doing here? I'm about to fuck you. I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting for your ass. I've been waiting for your sweet and shiny chicken ass. And then pulled up on him, and he's starting to beat Goku up, obviously. And then at the beginning of the series, where it was like episode, you see Vegeta saying like, oh, I gotta go to Earth. So he pops up in the middle of the fight. That little ball of a ship comes down, interrupts the fight, and he pulls up on him and starts beating Broly up a little bit, and then it switches quickly to like the perfect animation where I think it is Vegeta in actual Super Saiyan fighting Broly in his Super Saiyan, and the punches that Broly gets him, his hair sparks out of Super Saiyan. And I was like, this is fire. This is fire. Yeah, and then it's going into that fight, and then they end up going back, Vegeta together with Goku, and he ends up going Super Saiyan at a certain point because Chi-Chi's arm gets broken by Broly. And this is happening in 7 minutes. It was like perfection in 7 minutes that you haven't seen in the whole series. Yeah. And I was like, let the fans do their damn thing.
There was a fan made like spoiler of Luffy fighting Kaido, and it was just the most randomest like. It's just like, yo, this can't happen. This can't be a leak.
Yeah.
Because I'm talking at least like 7, 8 years ago.
And that's the thing. It'll be like 8 years ago, and it's like no one's found these fans to make the things yet. No. Because it's like, all you need is a studio or any company to be like, this is already in their head, in their skills, money, get it, got it, good, let's go.
We was talking to Jarrod Waters, and he was saying like they should give it to the fans, like how Disney did. How Star Wars did, how Lucas was just like, sure, buy me out.
Yo, I don't even get me, because I this one of the like secret things that I geek out about. I know too much about Star Wars. Like I know too much because I was on it, I think at the right time. And it was like perfect storm in high school. I think it was like that our middle school when they came back out with the last prequel, like Clone Wars or something like that. And then the Clone Wars show came out. And then I started just knowing all the shit. Just started looking into it because you could just Google at that point. Yeah. And the way that they gave it up to a whole fan, like he knows his shit more than anybody. Now he's running most of the things that's coming out from Clone Wars, Rebels, all the way to now Ahsoka. It's like these are the people that need to be running stuff now at this point. Only because it's been most of the series that all these artists are creating, they kind of aged out of. I don't want to do that every day. I'm 58. I'm 67. But you made fans. Like, if you want Boruto to be done well, and it's being done all right now, I feel like it's gotten better.
The anime got dragged out. I don't know why they went with the filler route.
Yo, they didn't learn shit from Naruto. They didn't learn damn thing.
Because they the ones that started it.
Yep.
They the ones.
Yo, I don't
the ones that started
really, for real.
It's like, this what makes us money, so just keep doing it. It's a... So, it'll be weird. Not weird. It'll just be different seeing that with his franchise like Dragon Ball Z. Mm-hmm. But the fact that we've already seen now 2 different imaginings of it. Yeah. Because not only Super, but previously GT.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing that I was like, yo, this is... And then they're coming out with another, right? So they got another...
And that's Akira being like, I'm going to get behind... The pen, like I'm gonna be behind it 100% again.
And I think that might be good, but my biggest worry is like, nigga, you old. Like you old now, and you never know what you might be rubbing people the wrong way that are like, I've watched this since a kid, and I have a lot of critiques. And have you heard me?
He definitely has.
Yeah.
He definitely has, because he has it's a co-production thing. I think he has like an understudy that helps him with Super. Mm-hmm. But to how certain characters are drawn.
Yeah.
To where like he's drawing either straight black or biracial kids with fades.
Oh, that's gonna be crazy. So, that's gonna be wild.
In school with Goten and Trunks.
Yeah, I was so tight because I was a Goten fan as a kid because I thought, all right, so this is gonna.
Gohan was nice.
Yeah, that's what I was. I was like, this is gonna be. I was like, this is a rap. It's a rap.
And then you show me Gotenks.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is the greatest nigga ever.
I was like, this is gonna be a rap for the whole series. We don't need no problems no more. Everybody can step back.
He got taken out.
And even the worst part, they kept this nigga 8 years old for 20 years. Like, come on, man.
They kept him.
Him and Trunks like this? Come on, don't even do that.
So he's definitely paying attention. He definitely knows.
Yeah.
And then too, the fans are just going crazy ballistic with their own stories.
Yeah.
I'll keep saying this on this podcast to this day until I find it and credit the fan that made it. It was a fan manga drawn exactly like Dragon Ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like it looked exactly like Dragon Ball. Reading it on TikTok of all places, a slideshow, and it's Ubin and Goku training in midair.
Oh,
sparring, like just like how GT was, but they just in an open like mountain range, sparring and whatnot. Ub get the best of Goku, hit him too hard in the head. Stop for a second. He's like, "Oh my bad, you all right, Goku?" And he's like, "Who's Goku? I'm Kakarot."
Oh wow!
Right? Akira has put so much into this space enough. We just run rampant with it now.
Yeah.
We can just go crazy with
it.
What if I were to tell you in like the year probably 2002, being around my cousins and them telling me about a rumor they read in the chat room about a leaked Dragon Ball Z movie, about Goku getting killed and then Gohan going Super Saiyan. It was like, yo, God came down and like fucked up Goku.
Yeah.
And then of course Gohan seeing that, and that's what pushed him over the edge.
Yeah.
Super Saiyan 3 because GT was technically not canon.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was a whole rumor. Then fast forward, fucking like, damn it, 15 years later, Battle of the Gods.
Yep.
And it was like, well, that wasn't too far fetched.
Right. I mean,
wasn't too far fetched.
The whole like the way that a lot of anime was curated like as a kid to you, because so much was fan on the internet. As soon as the internet and anime came together, I saw so much like fan fiction, fan manga, fan like creations that were so fire that made me think like there's so much that could be done that I just wish more of the fans, American fans, because I've seen so much Japanese, is like the conversation gotta be worldly at this point. Like there's so many fans on this side of the world that if you guys started redoing what you got from animation into these stories, at this point you don't even have to do the characters. They went so far from the original idea that like you got the concepts, you could just plug in whoever you want to into this and make it happen.
I feel like he's closing the gap with Super.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't want to say the whole Dragon Ball legacy, maybe the Super Saiyan legacy, like we'll see. But I feel like he's closing the loop because the whole Cordero was reminding me. He was like, this feels like the Saiyan arc, the moral.
Yeah,
the moral
I saw that. I saw that. I was like,
this feels like the Saiyan arc. Everybody pulled up to everybody. Gohan pulled out the purple gear.
Right. Yep.
Krillin here fighting, Yamcha here, Tien here.
That's what we need, though.
Roshi here, Krillin, like Vegeta popped up. I just trained in the yard rat. Start beating niggas up.
Yep.
And then we go from that to Planet Cereal, which that was a whole moment for me, just as a DBZ fan.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, what are you planning to care? Because now everything is canon that's coming out now.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah.
The movie, they just finished that up. As we record this, they just finished that up in the manga. The last chapter, the second to last chapter was them wrapping up the Dragon Ball superhero movie.
And I haven't seen that. I haven't seen it yet.
I will say, read it.
Yeah.
Read it first, then watch it. Because I wasn't expecting them to just retell it in the manga and then change like just one little detail just to make it fit in the story. To just make it a little worthwhile in the story.
I do gotta read it because that's what I've been seeing from the little pieces the super that is ahead of the animation, that's been like, oh, these look fire.
Nigga, because I got spoiled on Twitter, I learned very quickly. I'm like, so everything comes from Twitter first.
For real, it does, and I gotta get off it because it be spoiling and stuff all the time.
Oh man, I had to block so much One Piece stuff, but it was the leaked panel of Goku fighting Moro, and when like Moro put the hand
right, that's why I saw that too, and I was like, damn.
Like, all right, I gotta watch. I gotta read it. All right, okay. What's going on? What's going on with Goku? Who is this Moro dude?
Yeah.
Why is Vegeta on Yardrat?
Yep.
What is happening in Dragon Ball Super right now?
Yeah, and then when I saw that, and then just the flashback back to Yardrat, it was like, oh, I remember. This is where all sorts of techniques that could have been learned from Goku.
This is when we opened up. That's when I got lost in Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Once we got done with Frieza, and it continued on, that's when I'm like, so what is the purpose of this show right now? Because I always remember it just being chaotic.
Yeah.
And now it's like at peace. We're overpowering motherfuckers that just blew up a planet.
Yeah.
And now you telling me, oh nah, Goku made it out in the nick of time. We're gonna show you what he did.
Yeah.
And then not only did he make it safe, he was like, oh, I'm gonna train here.
Yeah.
Learn some overpowered teleportation. He can be anywhere.
Right. He turn into Nightcrawler, and then
he go to other dimensions.
Right. That was the coolest part of just that situation from there, because that was the thing that I was falling asleep to. I think maybe like 2 nights ago. They reevaluated the Cell Saga, which was supposed to be, according to Kira, obviously was supposed to be the pivot from Goku to Gohan, and they set it up to be perfect. And then they had to double back when the Buu Saga happened, and I was like, damn, if y'all just stuck with it. And they had opportunities with Mystic, Gohan, to just like, let's do this.
But I still don't, the Buu Saga, because I remember that like, that's when I was like locked in as a kid. I was like, I'm able to watch it. I'm going to try to watch it. Like, every day that it comes
yep.
on. And I was like, yo, what are we doing?
It's too much.
What are we doing right now?
It's too much going on.
Because like, I had to fill in the pieces. Saw the beginning part of it. I'm just like, oh, this is cool. Everybody older.
Yep.
Goku back for the day. We just having fun. We get to see Goku and Vegeta fight officially.
Yeah.
And then here come these 2 bald, muscle-headed dudes.
Yeah.
They steal powers.
Yo, the wildest thing I ever seen probably in anime, or the first wildest thing, like where I was like, these niggas really do be boxing out here. Like, evil. When he was beating Vidal's ass.
Oh, man.
I was like,
Calm down. Don't do it. Yeah, it was that one was rough.
Yeah, that was one of those ones.
Yeah, that whole arc was rough, but that definitely was the beginning of Super.
Yeah.
Because that's when it turned into, it's about Goku and Vegeta.
Yep.
Put it aside their differences to be buddy, to be dads, to be responsible parents.
To be dad. And you know what's crazy, when they did this reevaluation and breakdown of the Cell Saga, it was set up in the end of the Cell Saga when Trunks got shot through, and then when he gave up the reins to Gohan, it was like, oh, y'all are dads now. And I was like, y'all niggas is old. Y'all making old. Y'all supposed to be in the fight.
Is a 40-year-old farmer.
Right. It's crazy.
Vegeta is a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah.
Is different.
Hey.
So the Buu Saga was definitely like, yo, the kids got the spotlight.
Yeah. Gotenks. Gohan, he had his moment, and I was like, y'all could just let them ride, but
they too young, and Goku and Vegeta don't know how to stop training.
Right.
Because when I was reading, I was either reading the Buu Saga or I was watching it.
Mm-hmm.
But getting to that part when they're in Babidi's ship, and it's just making light work of everybody. I was watching this episode the other day for Dragon Ball Z Kai, where Supreme Kai was just like, it's going to be a tough fight. And these niggas is doing rock, paper, scissors going first.
Yeah, I was like...
And Supreme Kai's just like, why are they just so casual about
right, I know.
Vegeta getting frustrated. He's like, I'm only doing this so I can fight this nigga in the ring.
Yeah.
All of this interrupted what we already doing. I don't want to be here. So then he's like, let himself go Majin. Go crazy. He was just like, we fighting right now. Fuck all this other stuff. We fighting right now.
Yeah.
They show up at the World Tournament. Goku like, you really gonna make me do this? And nigga just kill a bunch of people?
I know.
Like, all right. Okay, Vegeta.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yep.
Let's go.
And the craziest part, Goku was still holding back. That was the craziest part. It was like, come on now. I've been a Vegeta fan since the Frieza saga. I think that's when
the video games for me.
Yeah.
Since Budokai 1, I'm like, I like Vegeta better.
And that's when I think it was back to back when the games came out. I was playing the games. Frieza saga just ended, and then Trunks popped up. And there wasn't a nigga alive that when Trunks popped up didn't think like Trunks was the best shit that ever was. I was like,
hold on, who this nigga with this ill jacket and sword?
Yeah, this nigga was doing like Naruto movements before Naruto. Then he killed him. It was like, all right, I'm not ready. I wasn't ready.
And then that's when Vegeta just lost it.
Yeah.
Was like, hold up, how this nigga show up?
And then even worse, he had to pull up in a pink shirt. He came out like Cameron, and everybody was doing. Trunks was over here just chilling, 17, ready to fuck everything up.
The girl that he not claiming.
Yeah. It's like he's stuck there just in a pink shirt.
Yeah. All right. Closing DBZ question. How long before the next live action adaptation?
Oh man, I hope a while. I hope a while. So I'm hoping it's like at least 3 years so they see another. If they get another One Piece before it and then another different type of thing, then I'll be like, hopefully DBZ does it right because they'll see One Piece did it in a different because they gotta go. It's gonna be similar tone, but they're gonna do it's gonna be crazier next season.
It has to be DBZ. Has to be DBZ because I think they're up to 3 of them now.
Mm-hmm. Is it?
There's an American one, and
right.
I believe there's 2 Asian ones. Like one that was made in China.
Yeah.
And I think there's like one more after that. I think you could definitely find them like on Amazon. But there's a minimum 2 live action adaptations of Dragon Ball out there. With a possible like 3.
You think it's gonna be in America, like an American version of it?
It's gonna be in Netflix. It's gonna be a Netflix special.
That's what I'm wondering. I hope that it's one of those ones that's like, all right, please just watch somebody do it in 2 different tones before you do it, and then be like, I bet. Let me try to do this right.
It's just, I have no expectation of it because it's live action Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
One Piece got lucky because it's pirates.
Yep.
Yu Hakusho because it's a 14-year-old kid playing Spirit Detective. And
then the thing is, they got the Avatar coming out, and that people already like poo-pooing all through Twitter all over the place before it hits because
we gotta look. Anything's better than M. Night Shyamalan's.
Oh yeah, that shit was ass. But the thing is, and I was like not on Avatar before it even touched. That's the thing. Like if you see Avatar done right, they might have some precedent for how you can do flight the right way, do movements the right way, and then they'll be like, all right, maybe we can build on that as Netflix to do it the right way with Dragon Ball Z, because that's the biggest part. In terms of casting, I don't think they'll fuck up. But I think in terms of execution, that's where I'm like, Dragon Ball Z's not easy to do without it looking funky.
So we're already knee deep into like action.
Yeah.
Action themed, action genre, live action anime adaptations. You know there was a Saint Seiya?
Nah.
Live action that came out last year.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like I think it was like in the midst of all of the Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Oh, so it was lost in the mist.
Bro, I saw the trailer for it on Twitter. Just randomly one day. I was like, this shit fake as hell. I was like, because I'm looking at it, I was like, why are they like Power Rangers? And I'm like, is that Saint? That's not Knights of the Zodiac. And I looked at the trailer, I'm like, that's fucking Saint Seiya.
Damn, man.
It's the guy that plays Zorro.
You know what they need to do? And this is going to be hard to do. Is because he was so young. If they could just do Dragon Ball. If they just do Dragon Ball, it allows them not to do too much. And if they just drop it in the middle.
But now you asking for like 3 ninjas with Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Because Dragon Ball is wacky.
It is wacky. If you can hit it the right way, I think it is a lot easier than do Dragon Ball Z. Only if you do the first saga of Dragon Ball Z, the Saiyan saga, maybe you might get away with it. But after you get to that, it starts getting real. Ginyu Force? You gotta do Ginyu Force?
I think what they would do the last tournament of Ball.
Yeah.
With Piccolo Jr.
Yeah, that'd be fire. And I think the Jackie Chan.
They would have to do a tournament if they're not going to do Ball.
Mm-hmm.
Just start them in a tournament with like we all came here to see Goku fight.
Yeah. Yeah, because we already you don't have to establish nothing for no American audience about Goku. There's not a single person. He was in the Thanksgiving parade.
He's been there since like 2017.
I mean, it's like it's over. You don't need to have no conversation. It's like
who Goku is.
I'm surprised that they haven't done more Pokemon, but because Pokemon's basically at a point where you don't have to do that much live action. It's been animated so long.
Detective Pikachu was very well executed though.
Yeah,
it was very very like, yes, this is 3D animated.
Yep.
But I really feel like that's Pokemon.
And that's the thing that's happening with 3D and the animation. That's cool is that they're touching so many of the previously old animations that now they're popping out with stuff that is like, oh, this is gonna be, because they did that with I think Ninja Turtles. They did that with Sonic and now Knuckles. That everything 3D is like
Ninja Turtles in like the category of like it's like you're always gonna have fans pull up.
Right.
Like Ninja Turtles went from the like it was comic book, popular cartoon,
right,
and then like we gotta do
live action real early. It's like real early.
This ain't gonna work. It's a fucking smash.
It's killed. And changed the whole job for the people that created it.
Went from like, all right, created differences with like now only one original creator owns
it.
He held on to it. Then he just sold it to his mans when he was ready for it. So it never left the creator's side. They've been signing off on
everything for the whole time.
You know how many cartoons they got?
So there's been like at least 7 or 6. I think it might be 6 different versions of the cartoon.
You got the 90s.
Yep, the early 91.
You got the 03.
Oh, and I forgot. Oh, girl had titties.
From which one?
That live action show where they made not the animated, but the a Ninja Turtle. I forgot her name. A female Ninja Turtle with the titties.
Yes,
I was
Venus.
Like, nigga, why'd you do this to me?
Because it's a bunch of horny, not knowing they horny kids. And Saturday morning.
They pulled up. I guess the corporation came up. We need to get a girl over. It was like, nah, we already got Casey's girl. We got April. She chilling.
They wanted to try something different. It's like we gotta sell toys.
I don't know what happened.
Boys ain't buying April O'Neil.
We don't need to buy it. I didn't know if they thought they were trying to get girls to watch Ninja Turtles, but it was like that ain't gonna happen this way.
They were trying to sell toys because they did the Power Rangers mashup with that.
Oh yeah, I remember that when they had the crossover, and I was like, "This." Yeah. You thought it was gonna be cool, but it wasn't.
That was so bad.
Yeah, because that was the cool thing about the Power Rangers when I saw it in the '90s, and then they had the most recent one. I didn't really watch it. The new movie that came out maybe like 4 years ago.
Nah, that was like 2016.
Really? That was supposed to be something that was gonna switch around because it looked serious in a way.
But of course, the fans was like, the suits and the Megazords are trash, which that's the whole reason why we kind of here.
Yeah.
Because Rita was dope.
Yep.
Her backstory was dope. Zordon was dope.
Yeah.
Alpha 5 was dope. Even how they did Goldar.
Everything else was dope except the fitting.
Just what we came here for.
Yeah.
They really made it space alien soldiers.
And I love the idea of that because that's the origin. That's really what it's supposed to be like.
So they made it like this is space alien technology.
Yeah.
Thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
So like it looks awkward. It's it definitely gave me the vibe of the first Mighty Morphin movie. Like that shiny ass 3D.
Yeah, I remember those suits. I remember when they did the spiral around. I was like, "What is this shit? What the hell is this nigga sparkling for? He looked like Silver Surfer."
So. Oh god, how we get to talking about Power Rangers? Oh yeah, Ninja Turtles. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, but god damn it.
Yeah, they felt that because I thought it was gonna be fun. Because I remember, was that the second one when they were turning into ninjas? There was ninjas. And then when they were traveling to figure out how to get this, it was the first one. They went ninja. They went from space to ninja to this, and I was like, oh, okay. And that was the ooze, and I was like, all right, okay, okay.
Because they really did leave that whole space. Like Zordon's an alien.
Yeah.
He just gave you a bunch of alien tech. Like Billy just made alien weapons for us.
Yep.
That's what
you have a whole robot talking to you daily about what need to be done. A robot Alfred. That's what you got. Stop trying to act like this is not outer world.
It's crazy.
And almost every villain came from outer space. Dropped them down. Like, come on now, stay on the grounds with this.
For real. That's why they got Power Rangers in space. It was like, let's just go to the source.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember when they switched through. I was watching not Billy, but damn, I forget his name. It was a Black Ranger and the Red Ranger were talking. They had like a podcast that they're putting together, or like a release talking about what happened after the first season, because they were supposed to fight for their money and stay together, but they didn't. So they replaced them, and I was like, God damn.
I remember rewatching when they put Power Rangers on Netflix. I was like, this is a really big deal because you got that whole catalog. And you put it all up there, and I was like rewatching. And I'm like, damn, this shit was cheesy, but this shit was still hitting.
Yo, the fact that they were doing Mugen type of stuff, Samurai Champloo fighting styles with the Black Ranger was like, this is wild.
Hip Hop Keto.
Yo, that shit was crazy. I was like, yo, take me to a karate class now. I'm about to fight.
But you see exactly when that happened.
Yeah.
Because they started using just regular stock footage of them like looking off into the distance, not having a conversation went on. And it's like, oh, Zach, Trini, and Jason went off to a world conference. It's like, what the fuck? What the hell does that mean? The fuck you mean they went to a world conference and then here comes what it was like Adam, Rocky, and Aisha?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, because they brought in the Yellow Ranger. The thing happened to her. I think she might have died.
No.
Was it, or she just left?
She passed away in years later.
Oh, that was after in a car accident. Okay.
It was specifically the three of them because I think they were probably some of the oldest ones on the cast. But they were like, we need more money. This shit's kind of racist. Like you got the yellow.
I was like, come on, stop playing with us.
It's just like we know how much money you're making. Man is a genius. This man said, oh, Super Sentai? Give me all of that stock footage. Give me all the stock footage. I don't need no audio. Just give me the footage. Give me the suits. We're going to hire some actors.
Yep.
Fill scenes of them being high school students.
Yep. Yeah.
Millions.
They said, you know what? Let's animate, make an anime live action version of Saved by the Bell.
Stan Lee wanted to bring it over here in the 60s.
And he was right. He was right to do that because he knew what was going on over there and why they liked and raved for it because he's in the animated world or in the drawing world. Like, that's the reason why everything blows up out there is because Astro Boy and all that other early stuff. It's like, this changed the game over there.
That's how we got the live-action Spider-Man show.
Yeah.
In Japan. Was Stan Lee being like,
let's try it there.
Let me get Super Sentai like Kamen Rider, and I guess it didn't work out. And then Spider-Man blew up.
Yeah,
it was like, well, make it, and they just made it made it its own thing. And apparently, well, not apparently, it's a fact. The Spider-Man live action show is the reason why there are Megazords to this day in Power Rangers.
Oh, damn! Because of how it looked.
No, like they purposely they gave him a giant robot.
Yeah.
So why they're making the show is like, how do we pitch this American story of a kid that works at a newspaper stand and he has spider powers? It's just like, we got to blow this up, and then two, we got to sell toys.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yo, that's the craziest part.
Selling toys.
Because, I mean, a lot of the big action out there during that time period, like I think it was like the 60s, 70s, Godzilla, you got things like that. It had to be big, like
Tokusatsu.
Yeah, it had to be something destroying buildings for it to be interesting. And the crazier part of it, I think truly Spider-Man could only exist in places like Tokyo and Manhattan. It's the only way.
They made it work. He climbed every building.
Yep.
He was fighting everybody, webbing them. And he would call the giant robot, and that's how he would save the day every single time.
That's fire.
But yeah, Spider-Man introduced the concept of a Megazord, man.
And honestly, a lot of the outfitting does look like it would fall right under something that would pop out against Spider-Man. Like, who is this nigga? Who are these niggas?
So their iconic superhero is Kamen Rider.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the Mask Rider from like the 90s? So that guy is a part of a franchise that's been going on in Japan since I think it dates back before Super Sentai, which is Power Rangers.
Yeah.
So I think they had that first. It's like, let's get this one guy in a suit fighting an evil organization, and they got monster people.
That makes all the sense in the world, especially for like a Japanese. I don't know how or why, but it's just they love them some motherfucking monsters. They do.
Nine brought it to our attention.
Yeah.
Season 2, where she's like, remember, like Japanese culture, our stuff goes back to like 200 AD.
Yo, when you see some of the things that were like just the creativity, it was all monstrous stuff, and you don't see that here that much outside of like werewolves, and I've been watching Castlevania.
Outside of it being evil.
Yeah, outside, and that's European shit.
Just an evil entity.
Yeah.
Where you go to Japan, where it's like, oh shit, I ran into a Kappa.
Yeah.
A river demon.
Yeah.
And the only way to beat it is to make it tip
Yo.
the water off the top of his head.
You know what's crazy? Just in the animated space, because I've been trying to animate stuff like that. And I think it's just a cultural thing. And it might be like, it really is deep rooted. And between African culture and Asian culture, those are the cultures I've seen the most with more talks when they talk about like ancient thoughts, demons. They actually think of like things like wood demons, things like that. Whereas you see in European stuff, you'll see like elves, you'll see vampires. They all still kind of look human. They don't really steer too far from like, that shit don't look nothing like us at all.
They just combine two things together.
Yeah, I mean that's that's the where I'm like, when I look at Japanese artwork from the past that leads into what they do in animation, like just their imagination makes all the sense in the world. Like, of course monsters are gonna come up, and the same thing, you just don't see animated African thought. So when you see it, it'll probably be the same thing as that.
It throws you off. Like you'll get something like Gods of Egypt. And
Yeah.
Like, yo, this looks cool, but like I'm gonna have to agree with social media. It's like, yeah, this is too many white people. For
Right.
Gods of Egypt.
Yeah, they wild, because it's crazy. Because I looked into this stuff, and I back when I was like in high school, that's the reason why I brought up Star Wars. When I first started touching, like, let me try to create something that has nothing to do with nothing. I was doing stuff on a writing site. Just they were writing stuff, and I came up with like, you had to come up with something creative to make your character, right? So I made a character, but I made that character a part of something. So they had to be a different race or something like that. So I ended up making their whole race. And when I started researching, I was learning like Ethiopian and Amharic and all sorts of other stuff just to know all this shit. What was the culture like? Because I want this to be as African, but even though it's in a Star Wars world, as African as possible. So when I learned about it, I was finding out about all the stuff that I would watch in like Inuyasha and anything like that. I would be like, damn, all this type of stuff that they have in their things, like Princess Mononoke and anything like that, and Studio Ghibli, is all African type of shit too. Like this, they have the same similar thoughts. That's probably why black people like this shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, this shit ain't too far. Like Santeria is not too far from Spirited Away. Like this is the same type of shit. And I'm like, and then you don't see that in like when you want to watch Lord of the Rings and nothing like that. And that's old, like European ways of looking at mystical stuff. And it's like, all right, well, that's their spirituality. That ain't our shit.
Even when they when in certain shows, certain comic books, cartoons, like prime example, like Static Shock or X-Men, where like Static Shock, they did a whole trip to Africa for him.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's fighting side by side with the African superhero.
Yeah.
Who is he has the powers of an African god. A
Yeah.
Nazi. Like it's a whole thing you can look up.
Yeah.
Like children's books are written about that god. And then you get something like an X-Men. In the 90s, would it be like, hey, Storm says she needs a break, so she's going to go back home.
Right.
And then you find out she's actually looked at as a goddess.
Yeah.
She controls the weather. You forget she is literally fucking Mother Nature.
Yeah, she really is on a top tier level.
And then on top of that, you're like, oh, there's a deity that haunts her.
Yeah.
On some other plane that only Professor X could deal with.
Right.
It's like, yeah, give me that little bit of stuff that like, it's not necessarily a distraction from the main plot, but you just adding on some more of
right.
Being like, yo, damn, Storm do be doing a lot.
She's like, yo, the craziest part, I didn't know this stuff back when I was reading it and then watching the show. She's one of those, I think it's called, to me, I look at it as like S-class when we talking about.
Omega level.
She Omega level, right? So she's up there. Where you thinking about her just in the team, you're like, oh, sometimes she leads, sometimes she don't. When I look back, I'm like, who are all these other niggas? Because they shouldn't be talking, because it's her. If she could just walk in and say, you know what? We gonna rain today. It's a wrap.
It's done.
It's over. You want lightning? All right, you out of here.
I'm not feeling it today.
Like, what is Thor if he ain't got lightning? Me, I'm Storm. I can make that happen now. Like, that's crazy.
Nah.
She a different level, and that's weather just on Earth. I don't know what she can do on another planet. She can fuck up everything.
And that's been proven, too. They're like,
right.
Nah, she controls weather anyway.
And that's the power that makes me be like, oh, y'all really... As a movie, when you look back on the movies, they made Storm just look like a side character. Like, she ain't that girl.
When they showed her in the Days of Futures Past,
Mm-hmm.
like really going turn
Yeah.
up, it's like, yeah, we should have been so this.
Right.
We should have been seeing
Ben.
all of this. Okay. let's get to some more focused questions. All right, new Blade. What are we feeling about it?
Oh, bro. I mean,
Mahershala Ali.
the way that they got us waiting make me think that I'm not. I know how Marvel's been asked for like the last year and a half to maybe 2. I'm scared. I'm really worried because I don't think he'll drop the ball, but the movie might. And I mean, that's the problem that you didn't see in the first 2 Blades. Like, it was like, all right, we got the right actor, we got the right situation, and it's before Marvel had any conversation.
Nobody knew it was a comic book.
No one. I didn't know as a kid at all. Like, I was like, this nigga just got a flat top. All right, for some reason.
This is the coolest motherfucker I ever seen in my life.
Yep. Before we had Black Panther, this was the closest thing to it.
This was my Black Panther
in
the 90s.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about him. I was like, nah, Blade. Like, who is this cool nigga?
Yeah, he came a daywalker. Yo, calling a black dude a daywalker is wild already. They was already going in a different direction. I was like, they're ready.
Whole movie, he just letting the bullets fly.
Yo, I'm trying to remember if it was the first. I think it was the first movie. But when I saw people's faces getting cut in half,
bro,
I was like, we're ready. I'm ready for everything. Because this was like same time Rush Hour was coming on. I was like, I'm ready for all types of martial arts and black people happening at the same time.
The first 10 minutes of him just running through a nightclub.
Yeah.
Full of vampires. Like, that, it was different. When I first heard it got announced back in like 2018, I was completely against it because I'm like, this got nothing to do with Wesley's legacy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just more of like, look, why do we need another one? Like, do you really understand that you're taking on a big challenge for yourself?
Yeah.
Because you got 3 crowds showing up.
Yeah.
You got Blade fans.
Yep.
You got comic book fans.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got MCU people showing
Which is
up.
gonna be like, I don't even want it tied in, person. I don't want it connected to nothing.
And they already did that.
And I'm like, how and why?
They already did it. He's such a street level. Like, I deal with vampires and supernatural shit.
And street and night. The closest thing to it is Daredevil. Why should he be involved with anything else? And Daredevil don't want to deal with, like, just let him do his thing.
And even that verse was fire to me.
Yeah.
Everything minus Iron Fist.
That shit was unnecessary. That was one of the most unnecessary. Because I was like, I understand you trying to make the Defenders because I know my stuff, but why did you do this?
It was bad. Like, it fell apart at Iron Fist. It was like, y'all just threw something together.
Yeah.
But like, you could have just gave it a second and got the right person in this role because Daredevil over-delivered.
Yeah, they did. They were doing old boy type of shots with that hallway, and I was like, y'all are doing everything right.
They over-delivered with it, and then finishing off with Bullseye and Kingpin. I was like, this was really good. And then Jessica Jones was fired at the same time.
Yep.
Luke Cage came through, took a second, but like won me over fully.
And that was the other part. That was my intro to Marcella. That was when I never really think I saw or paid attention to him before that. But when he came in and did his thing on that show and then died was when I was worried about the show because he killed that show. He bodied it. I was like, this is probably the best you're going to get out of any of the shows in terms of acting. I was like, no one's better than this. Yeah. Like, I actually like the enemy, the villain. You did a good job when you got people liking the villain.
Second season when they brought Bushmaster, I was like, this is a good cleanup.
Yeah.
I like him. Like you're bringing it back to you're making it more about, again, just like, this is what's happening in Harlem, and Luke Cage happens to be here. Like, and he gave that energy too. It's like, I'm just trying to chill.
Yeah.
Like, I
don't want none of these problems. I'm just big. I gotta handle it.
Nigga, I broke out of prison. I found out I'm bulletproof.
I had the afro before. I didn't want these problems. I cut my thing off.
Bro, when his brother shot him, I was like, oh yeah, there it is right
there.
I would have threw a fit my damn self. I was like, I'm done. I'm fucking out of Harlem. Like, I'm getting the hell out of here.
I'm gonna just go to Jessica Jones' house and chill out. I'm not doing this no more.
Oh God, man. All right. So not excited about Blade.
Nah, the thing, you know what this?
Way I feel.
I'm wanna be excited, and then I heard Ryan Coogler is making a film with vampires with Michael B. Jordan too. Like he's gotten a New Orleans thing he's about to pop out, and and this is my only worry. I'm not worried about that one because it's not tied to nothing. It's not. It don't got to do no MCU type of bullshit. It only has to deliver a vampire movie that's black. That's all they got to do. And I have no bad faith in Ryan Coogler as just a director. So I only worried about Michael B. Jordan fucking it up because As of late, Michael B. Jordan's been just dropping the ball.
Because I don't think he realizes like he's not in the. He don't gotta do everything.
Yeah.
Like he really put himself in the like I can be like the funny charming guy.
Yeah.
In your movie, I can deliver action.
Yeah. You know what's
if you want me to be a superhero,
he did the Killmonger thing, and then that was the thing that made him think that I gotta do, because he did Creed and Killmonger, and then he was going in the serious route. Killmonger made him think like, oh, I could do it all.
But up to that point, that's when it got to like. This is like post how many years like after The Wire?
Yeah, because it was what, a good 10, 12 years after The Wire,
and then like the next biggest thing after The Wire was what.
Oh, I know because I'm from the Bay, so the Oscar Grant thing. But before that. Oh, you're talking about that what's it called, the Crucible or
no?
Not the one where he's gets superpowers.
What's the superpower?
That one, Chronicle. Yo, when I watched that movie, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that movie, I was like, this shit is so good. And I think there were superhero movies happening on the ground during that time period. I think it was like Kick-Ass came out.
This is like
Super came out.
This is post Heroes.
Post Heroes. And it was like, this is the way that you're going to tell a story of actual people getting superpowers. Because Kick-Ass came out, no superpowers, right? They just, this is what superhero action would actually look like in real life.
You're going to get fucked up.
You're going to get fucked up. And then when you saw what actual superpowers look like on a people, this looked, and they did it from basically like a camera, like a personal camera angle.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is fly. Y'all thought this through. It came out well. This nigga's evil as hell. This white dude don't know how to act, because he would have shot up the school if he could. And he got powers instead. And look how he acted. He got friends. He could have just been regular. You want to be weird. You could have just chilled out. Michael B. Jordan was chilling, having a good time, not doing too much, because he was already cool before he got the powers. Then his friend, I think it was the brother or the cousin to this kid, that ended up being the enemy. That nigga was like, all right, we might be doing a little too much, but, I'm going to just look out for my cousin, because he kind of weird, but, he's really focused on these powers. And they were just experimenting until this dude was like, you know what? People don't want to fuck me. And and I'm taking it out on everybody.
Chronicle was a good time.
Yeah, it was a good movie. It was one of those movies that I was surprised didn't go even further than it did.
In between all that, he was just doing like any and whatever. I think
he was doing like Daylight. I mean, I remember seeing it when I came home to my grandma. He was on one of those soap opera shows. And I was like, okay.
On the talk show that was interviewing him, he was just like, they named a movie. He was like, I probably just did that for a check. He was like, it started blowing together now. But he did Fruitvale, which is a really good movie. Yeah. He pulled off a Rocky reboot spinoff.
Yep.
Very successfully.
Yeah.
And you got us. You brought back the feeling of a good villain.
Yeah.
For a movie.
Yeah.
With Killmonger, which nobody saw that coming.
And MCU wasn't doing it yet. Like, really, I think who cornered the market on that was
they didn't have a Heath Ledger.
Yeah, they didn't have a Dark Knight feeling yet. So I was like, oh, y'all finally got your villain. Finally. Because the closest thing you had to it was when Sony had Spider-Man and did that with Green Goblin. That was like the closest you go get to it. And it only got better when they did it again when he came back through this last time. But they didn't have a villain. They had no villain to hold on to. And I was like, all these other people, we here for the heroes. Yeah. Iron Man. Yeah. All the other ones, you're not there for the villain. No one's checking for these villains. Killmonger did it so bad that it fucked up the character creation, hairstyles forevermore.
I didn't know the black community despised that cut.
I didn't even know it was a problem.
Yeah. Like
that until I started seeing it come up on my YouTube feed for like the last year and a half. Mm. Then Twitter is going crazy with it, because every character creation still don't got it that I got. I got Street Fighter. The 6. It ain't there. And I'm like,
the straw that brought the camels back is Tekken 8.
Yeah, I heard.
Eddie's main hairstyle.
That was dumb for them to do that, because ain't he?
Killmonger.
Yeah, you can't do that to him. I mean, that's not
he's South American.
Yeah, he's from Brazil.
He's always had dreads.
Always, this whole time.
And they showed his brother Tiger, who had an afro. And so it's like just do whatever, man. But Yeah, I didn't know that was a.
It was a problem, apparently. I didn't know. I didn't know it was a problem. I've never seen nobody in the world with it, so I just thought it was Killmonger's cut. And then when I saw that, then the other part that made me see it was so many, because now I'm like in the illustration world. People that do illustrations, just when they do a black character, always gotta throw it a. And I'm like, I know you're not American or you're not black immediately as soon as I see that cut, because who's doing this? No one's. I've never seen this cut. I've been through Brooklyn a few too many times. I haven't seen the cut.
It was a strong 2 years that it happened, and then after that, people just grew their dreads out.
Yeah, because it's like you can't keep that here. And the crazier part, the part that got me when people just roast the shit out of it, is that Killmonger didn't even have that style the most of the movie.
No, he didn't.
He only had it for a little while. Then he had his hair down. Da 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 da. I'm like, I was like, niggas ain't drawing this. Niggas ain't really behind this artwork.
I'm dead. All right, new gen anime. What are you feeling the most? And what I consider new gen, because I do feel like there's a new shonen big three, but
what do you think the new three is?
But there's no three because there's so many of
them.
And everything takes a season break now.
Yeah, I know, and that's the thing that I think in just general is a problem. Like you don't see a lot of people doing back to back.
So like the last one I believe that was trying to do it, the old format, was Black Clover. Mm-hmm. But now that's being moved to Shonen Jump's monthly issue situation.
And you know what I would say was going to be Jujutsu Kaisen was I was going to be mine, but it ended. So like, and I still am behind. So it would be mine because as soon as I watched it, it was the one that as soon as I watched it, I knew niggas was going to go crazy watching it because people was really boxing in that. And then it was also just good. And it gave you the string that connected to the old was the fact that there's a demon inside of a person. And then we all know where that came from.
So for me, it was, I'm like, this is, a lot of the new gen anime has been, it feels like amalgams of the big three. Yeah. Black Clover, to me, seems to carry the torch well as far as incorporating all three of Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece in the show, but still having its own personality.
That's what you gotta have, because I really like that about that, because the other characters, a lot of it did give me Naruto vibes, but just in a more adult way. That's for
Juju. Right?
Yeah.
So Juju is the perfect mix of Naruto, OG Naruto, not
Shippuden.
OG Naruto and Bleach.
Yeah, that's what I felt like it was.
Because it's super creepy, it's dark, there's a lot of death going on.
Yeah.
But it's the demon inside the guy, and he's the one here to save the day, the teacher that can control him if things get out of whack.
What do you think about this in shonen? And this is something that was brought up to me not too long ago. Why do you think main characters' skill sets are so simple? Because everybody else's skill sets, what they can do, the techniques that they can do when they start out a show, are always complicated from all the other shows that you look at. Like, let's say Sasuke. This nigga can do 3 different things out the gate. Even Sakura was like, I can do Genjutsu, and I know how to walk a wall. This nigga Naruto is like, I can box, and I can multiply. That's about it.
And I just learned how to do both of those.
Yeah, I just learned how to do that. I just got here. And that's the same thing for a lot of other people. Even when you look back at Goku, you see Vegeta and all these other people, Piccolo, all these other people can do so many different moves. He got Kamehameha and an uppercut. It's like, that's about it. And that happened all throughout Shonen. I was like, when someone pointed that out, I was like, damn, why is that?
Just to give you that underdog, this is the first time I'll recommend a guest to listen to an episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
An episode we put out for season 4 with 9. Mm-hmm. And she pretty much broke down. This is all something she read in the book, but it enlightened her on like what meant anime to be what it is today, or just overall Japanese media. Yeah, where and this is me just paraphrasing it like so much, but the gist of it was like Japan got to a point where everybody was comfortable because everybody was put into like a middle class type of cushion, like majority of the country. So, like, everybody was good, but now it's just like, so what's the goal here? Like, something to look at. Yeah. So that's when a lot of the media turned towards, like, look at this person or this group who started from here, and now they they
up
blowing
there.
up.
Yeah.
So she broke it down to what J-pop stars.
Okay.
She literally said that she was like they're kind of just mid. Overall, like the whole package is pretty mid, but the package is being sold to the people as being like, check out these people.
Yeah.
And just like, you know what, I'm gonna ride with them
because they're coming up. Yeah, like an underdog story is the kind of the
it's
MO.
like, yo, y'all average, but I fuck with the hustle.
Right. I think that's what all these main characters are. Is like at the best they're average. At the most, they're normally like, who is this loser coming through that really all they can do is punch people.
Or you'll get the underachiever.
Yeah.
The underachiever was just like
even
this dude don't want to do it.
Right, and those ones I do be fucking with because that's one punch. But also you got these like in My Hero where you have this dude shouldn't have been there. You should not be here, bro. From the beginning, was the vibe, and that's a common thing. Like you should not be here, as oftentimes like the case. But if you go further and further back, you start looking at like some of the old ones where the main character is like Kenshin. Where it's like, this nigga, that's the complicated one that I like seeing where it's like, oh, you have a past, like Trigun, you have a past type of people.
I didn't find out until a few years ago that Kenshin is a sequel series of Samurai X.
Yeah, that's what I remember when I found out. I found out because I was so young and I was fucking up my grandma's computer because I was on LimeWire watching a hella anime. Every computer was getting destroyed. Yeah. So I was over at my grandma's house watching stuff and I saw that was like, that, and then they had that OVO of that, and then I was catching up, and I was like, damn, I didn't know that he was this dude that had this type of past.
The manslayer.
Yeah, I know. And then he's smiling, blossoms flying in the background, like, well, what happened to this nigga?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So it's definitely just that underdog.
Yeah.
And they put it with everything, every aspect of it, even when like the some like a Magical Girl series that I watched called Pre-Tier. Where it's a young girl. It's literally a shonen, but it's a girl.
Yeah.
So it's a young girl. Her dad married into wealth. So now she has two rich stepsisters. Oh. They don't really care for each other, but then here's the kicker. She has super strength. she's wild, like she could run fast, like she could take off. She's like, wow, she's abnormally strong. Yeah. Next thing you know, these guys come from this other world. Like, we gotta find the Pre-Tier so we can fight off the evil. Yeah. Next thing you know, all they gotta do is just grab hands. She get an outfit change and a weapon. Yeah,
that's cool. I gotta check this out. What's it called?
Pre-Tier.
It's
available on Funimation, but now with the merger with Crunchyroll, you'll just be able to get it on Crunchyroll.
See, this is why I wonder, like, some of the mangas that I've caught up on, like, people have recommended, if they've been turned into animation, I gotta check them out. Like, there was this one where this guy who got into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu there's a manga about it, like where there's two girls that are getting into Jiu-Jitsu, and there's one that she's competing against that's amazing at this, and those are the ones I want to see into shows because it just is a different angle on telling an anime because I haven't seen it before, like ones that have a little bit more like grounded ones because I came in watching shonen like everybody else did. Right. So all these other different genres around anime I haven't been really introduced to that much, and I know they're good because we saw them in Adult Swim, but we didn't see a lot of them enough.
All right. So I'm gonna answer that. So let's get back to this new age shonen. We got Black Clover. Yeah. This is what I'm considering.
You putting Demon Slayer in there?
Black Clover, Demon Slayer, Fire Force.
Oh, I forgot about how much I fuck with Fire Force. I do.
Dr. Stone, Jujutsu Kaisen, and I think that's it. Black Clover, Fire Force, Demon Slayer.
I do fuck with Fire
Dr.
Force.
Stone, Jujutsu Kaisen. My Hero. I always fucking forget My Hero.
Those three are the ones for me. My Hero, as soon as I started, it's just something about it that hits you in the childhood that's like there.
It started right as Naruto ended.
Yeah.
As the 4th grade Ninja War was ending. And like even my boy was like, well, the internet's just saying like, well, this is clearly going to replace something in the big 3. Yeah. Like it was in the cards from the beginning.
Yeah. That
it's like, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
Because none of us have seen anything start out like this specifically.
Right. And I think I liked it off the back. immediately, and then I just have to stay on it because I was saying like I was behind, and then now it's off the dub, and I'm like, okay, well the sub ones are ahead. I'm not waiting though. I wanna just get into the manga, but I missed so many things since I'm really behind. I think the last was 5th or 6th season, and I didn't go past in the manga. And I've seen you know how the internet goes. You can't not see stuff, and I'm seeing stuff, and I'm getting mad. Like, bro, I don't want to know. Let me just read it.
Late, man.
I know.
It's because that one's ending soon too. So,
yeah.
So out of those 6 that I called, Fire Force is done.
Yeah.
Slayer's done.
Yep.
Jujutsu Kaisen
It's done.
Is done. So only thing left right now is Black Clover, My Hero, and God damn it, I'm always forgetting one. Dr. Stone, I believe it's still.
Oh, I watched the first season of Dr. Stone, and I was when Crunchyroll was still liking me on my subscription, so I still was fucking with them. And then I watched like the first 4, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I just didn't know where it was going. I was like, all right, this is cool because you get recommended it, and then it cut off for me. So I'm like, those are the ones I'm wondering what it turned into. Like, because I've watched barely anything of Black Clover, watched Demon Slayer, and I was watching Fire Force. I loved Fire Force off the back too, because it was one of those ones that didn't remind me too much of anything else.
It's the same guy that created Soul Eater.
Yeah.
He made that. So like he knows how to introduce a team of folks to you, and then just drop you off like, all right, this is them at work.
Yeah.
This is how they use the powers that be
in
this world. And then apparently the 2 worlds are connected. So
a word.
Right.
Okay.
Right. That made me be like, okay, can you please finish this show so I can see how you connect these 2 things that clearly have nothing to do with each other, but besides the sun in the sky. Like,
I know.
It's like of course we're going to see that, but it's like how do you land this plane?
I know. Are they in the same plane? Like, what is going on?
Like, how do you connect? Because it's like confirmed. It's like, no, they are. This is the same world. So,
I gotta check all because I was on second season Fire Force, and then I paused for a second. Now.
So you're a My Hero guy.
Easily, yeah, easily a My Hero guy. Because as soon as I watched it, I binged it for like 4 seasons, and I was like, yeah, I know. And I was reading it, and then that's easily like My Hero is my thing.
Okay.
Because I think it's because it gives you the dynamic is there that is from before, but they're doing it a lot better when you see what happened with Goku and Vegeta. That's immediately what was happening there between them. But the difference is that Goku's a bitch in this show. Like
that's the biggest gripe when everybody was like, this motherfucker cries
all throughout the first 3 seasons, maybe 4 or 5. He's just
every season cries.
And I was watching, I don't know if you checked this out at all, but I was checking this out on Netflix, and it makes me mad. I just don't know what it is about me when I watch somebody just being a bitch that should be the hero in a show. It's called The Brother's Son, Netflix show that is about 2 Thai people or Korean people, and they're there and they're handling stuff with the triads. And it just the whole time I'm thinking of Deku while I'm watching this, like, why is this dude a bitch? Why? And I love him. I think he's supposed like the development is gonna happen because I haven't gotten there yet. But just imagining him, because where I'm at right now is when all the heroes are getting slaughtered.
The war?
Yeah, I'm at the beginning of the war, and I know what happens a little bit after that. And I'm like, he's got to change. Ain't no way he gonna stay a bitch throughout this whole experience.
That's when I saw little tidbits of the fandom kind of turning, where they because you see like exploring the powers, how he's easily able to tap into them.
And that's when he was starting to tap into him before, and he was going into the past of the previous people who had the powers, and I was like, this is cool. I'm happy that he's not going to just be punching, because that's my issue with all these other people. It's like, he can't just be punching all the time.
That's what made it like, that's when the whole show started coming together for me. Where like All Might told him specifically, he was like, this is how I used it.
Yeah.
You got to figure out.
You got to figure out how you going to play this.
He's like, this is how I use it.
Right.
Especially when you see the black whip and you like.
Yeah. That's where I was at. Yeah, the black whip. And I was like, look at that.
I was like, that's inside All Might, but he decided like
not to do that. And that was the thing that made me think like, oh, maybe he's tapping into stuff All Might just couldn't tap into. Like maybe this is gonna be better than what it was.
And the only thing I saw people complain about was like, how come he could just use all the powers? And I'm like, oh, y'all didn't watch Bleach.
Yeah.
Y'all did not see a successful like I don't want to say the underachiever, but like the kind of low key delinquent that that could be great.
Yeah.
If you just put him in the spotlight, and he just comes through every single
time. And that was a cool thing about this. How they set this character up from the beginning was that he didn't have no quirks, but the fact that he was a fan. That's like perfectly putting all characters into the story because everyone's a fan of the show or a fan watching it. It's like, oh, he's a fan. So what happens when a fan finally becomes a player?
Gets the opportunity.
Yeah. Because the way that he broke down fighting while he was getting into fights when they were doing the competition was like, this nigga's exactly what I want.
The minute they show Hero Killer's stain, I was like, oh yeah, this show different. Because how you go from he just got the powers, he can't control the powers, his body's falling apart because of the powers. Yeah. He just learned how to distribute the energy properly.
And he was only at that point like 5%. He wasn't even like 5-10%. Fingers.
Not even double digits.
Yeah, maybe like a season ago, his fingers are breaking because he's fighting.
And he had to really stay still and then power up.
Yeah.
And then you throw him into the nightlife.
Right.
Vigilante
real problems.
With a dude that's stabbing up little kids.
Wild.
With a dude stabbing, I'm like, okay.
Walking around like Raphael with one thing around his head. He was crazy.
That was like season 2?
I think it was season 2 or 3. It was like very early on.
Super early.
Yeah, he was dealing with a real issue out the gate. And I was like, this. And then, yeah, that show is killing to me because I don't know I think I know what happens to such and such's dad. Forgetting his name. But the second, and then I saw him come on the scene like, I hate this dude. And then slowly you're like, oh, I like this dude. And then now they doing the right thing, what I saw before it happened. Like, oh, he's about to get fucked up.
Man, it's a problem. This is the last thing we'll end on. So this year, I'm really going to be focusing on the terrible time, the terrible incident, the terrible moment in a shonen, where Shibuya incident, Jujutsu Kaisen brought the Shibuya incident like to my face with that. The minute it got announced that it was animated, Cordero got hyped. Yeah, like the same way I get hyped for One Piece, I saw him getting hyped. Yeah, for Juju, where he's like, oh, they gonna do the whole Shibuya incident. So in my head, I'm like, what the hell is the Shibuya incident? What happened in Shibuya? Like, what is this incident? And then I watched the prequel to it. I was like, that was really wild. I forgot how crazy Juju gets. Yeah. So I had to sit down these 5 episodes that didn't show anything from Shibuya yet. Yeah. And niggas is going crazy. Like, it's going to be the hardest thing ever. And then I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'll read it then. And I'm like, this is very stressful right now. Because I went from watching hidden inventory to watching the episode with my cousin. I'm like, what is this? He was like, it's Juju. And it's just pandemonium going on. It's just pure craziness. Gojo's nowhere. Like, he got put out of commission. Yeah. And so I'm like, I got to see what this Shibuya incident is about. And with all these curtains and veils and seals, I'm like, damn, this was the evasion arc during the Chunin exams. Yeah, yeah. This was every rescue mission Ichigo's been on, where it just goes bad. Yeah. It's just bad. Like, you pulling through, but my man, like, how many times you gonna get severed on your shoulder? I know. Like, how many times is that gonna happen? One Piece, the closest incident I can have with them, where, like, it was just a bad time the minute they stepped, like, this adventure got started. Yeah. And it was, because it was like, yo, we kind of didn't, not that we didn't have to be here, but, like, this happened, but this got out of hand very quickly, and it almost went bad for everybody. Like, we got out of here off of luck. Yeah. Luck alone. So, like, all these shonens have had incident.
And then, I mean, you try, what is the worst incident I could think of or my favorite incident?
Or even a favorite, like, it's like, this is definitely a prominent thing. Because I'm like, yo, this is the Chunin exam.
You know what's crazy? The first thing that comes to mind about an incident where it was like, I don't know if my nigga gonna make it through, is, I don't know if you've seen this episode. It was when, and it's in Cowboy Bebop. It's the first episode that I was like, I don't think he's gonna make it through. Because there's multiple episodes before then where I was like, Spike's cool. He gonna be fine. Even though even when he got thrown out the window, it was like, oh, he gonna be fine. The one that I'm thinking of, and I forgot his name, is the nigga who was like, had a top hat and was floating as a ball. He could, like, bullets weren't hitting him. I think he was like biomedically created.
Oh, wow.
And I forgot what his name was. But the first 2 minutes of the episode, you seen this nigga kill somebody with a big grin on his face like the Joker. And he's laughing like a little kid. And then Spike shoots at him and it's just bouncing off some sort of like field. And then you see, in the way that they shot this made this was so crazy because it was shot so perfectly, where off the silhouette, he floats. He like comes off the ground and kicks him, and you see Spike flipping in the air, and he kicks him again while he's floating, and he kicks him again, and then he falls to the ground. I was like, yo. And only because a black cat showed up, because that guy has a fear of black cats, that he escaped that alive. And that was like the first 2 minutes of the episode, because he wasn't even hunting him as a bounty hunter. He was hunting somebody else. He saw him in an alleyway and was like, on some craziness, just saw him and was like, oh, I'm about to fuck you up just because you looking at me. Oh, wow. And I was like, Spike, you about to get the fuck out of there, though. Yeah, you about to die. Yeah, and it was one of those moments where I was like, that for sure happened, where I was like, I think the season might end with this nigga dying. We might have to go out without him.
Like, yo, I think this is...
Yeah, that and the and then when right when Vegeta let that nigga get up to Perfect Cell was when I was like, oh God, oh man, what was you thinking?
I don't know. The Majin Buu saga might be more.
Oh, also, yeah. When he was like, fuck the world and just killed everybody. But the thing with Majin Buu was that made me feel safe was because Goku was back. And it was like Goku was in the chamber, and I think the whole Cell arc that made me feel like niggas might die before Gohan transformed was the fact that Cell came out of nowhere. Like, it wasn't even supposed to be about him. Nah. Like, this was supposed to be about androids. Like,
yeah, it's supposed to bring back the Red Ribbon Army.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like, oh, okay, cool. Oh, and it wasn't even the androids we saw first, and then there's these ones, and this is the ones Trunks was scared of. I was like, oh, this is what the buildup was about.
That was the incident. I forgot that starts off like that, where Trunks is like, hey, Goku's about to show up in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Make sure he takes his
medicine. Like, he came through just for the medicine to save him, and then Goku was fine, but still needed the medicine. And it wasn't these two, and they were going back for the two. Jiru got his head blasted off.
It was like, yeah, we took care of him. He was just like, yo, these are not.
Yeah, and that's when I was like, oh, this is about these androids, and that's why we scared, because Vegeta got his arm fucked up, and then next thing you know, Piccolo's like, yo, Kami, we can't do this without me and you being one. And then next thing you know, he up there, and all we're scared of is this thing. And the way Cell came through is so underrated. You just saw the town fucked up. All people gone, music playing, and he's just walking. Shadows, feet, face, boom. Piccolo's walking through the city, and it's just him solo. And you've never seen Piccolo solo except in movies to pull up to save the day from. And it was like, what? Piccolo, the only nigga in the show, is about to handle this?
Yeah.
And he was the most powerful person for like 10 episodes or 8 episodes, and Cell still got him. And I was like, yo, we not good. We not good. Yo, this might and Gohan was, I think Goku was still out of commission. That way that Cell came through scared the hell out of everybody watching that show.
Because he was recovering. Goku didn't meet him until he turned perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, and when he turned perfect, he was about to blow up everything. Tien fell down, and then Goku came through with instant transmission and was like, "Let me say today, for a second."
He was like, "Oh, you Cell."
Yeah.
Just give it a second. Like, we're gonna fight. It was menacing because it was like, damn, is Goku gonna get it?
And he didn't. And that was the crazy report. He didn't.
He just gave it. He's just like, it's not gonna work.
They really built it up for Gohan to be that dude, because the way that you didn't see no chance of Goku actually winning was wild, because it's the first time. It was the first time.
So the incident never ended. So it went from like, all right, so now we tapped into Super Saiyans.
Yeah.
We had that whole moment. Everybody's a Super Saiyan now. We did Cell. It's got to be Gohan, and then somehow it just still didn't sit right with the writers.
Yeah.
They're like, we gotta keep this tragedy going. Like Goku is he's still able to come back. So the minute they try to make it about him, here comes the whole incident. Was like, oh, they made you mad because they got your girl.
Yeah.
Now they took some of your Saiyan energy.
Yeah.
Now we gotta deal with the problem.
Yeah.
You go train with the Supreme Kais. Oh, you don't gotta be Super Saiyan. Damn, you broke the sword. Like it was a whole thing. And when Gohan showed up
as Mystic
to kill Boo, that
was the moment. I swear to God, in my heart of hearts, I was like, you finally figured it out. Y'all gonna make him actually the dude, and they still fucked it up. It was destroyed because it was like you built it up, you made Super Saiyan 3 come through, and still Gohan looked like he was more powerful in this moment.
They were like, you don't gotta go Super Saiyan anymore.
I was like, oh, y'all finally pulled it back. He just came through buff as hell.
But then it's like, oh, they're going him and Goku going to fuse together, make the strongest warrior. And then it was like, nope, this is a Goku and Vegeta.
I know. There was, and that's what they messed it up. I was like, because that always keeps me from being like it's the most tragic moment when Goku's on the scene. It doesn't feel like that. When Vegeta or Gohan have to lead, it's like they might lose.
And I'll end on this. Dead Zone with Garlic Jr.
Yeah,
is probably
that was one of my. I'm not gonna lie. That's probably my because you knew stakes were possibly
Goku not showing up.
Yeah.
Well, how we gonna figure this out?
Yo, that's the way that the show. If you did that from the rest of the show, if they learned anything from that moment, they would have let Gohan win because, yo, forget the fans for just a second. You just gotta let them trust you. Let them lose some trust and then come back and be like, yeah, you was right. You was right. Gohan should be leading this because. He's fueled off anger, so you never know if you're gonna win or not.
Man, all right. On that note, please read the manga.
I got you.
Read the manga. It's because everything is out now. It's 45 page chapters.
Yeah.
So it's like you really getting like a lot from each chapter, and you're like, all right.
Yeah.
They do the whole super movie. You see that, and then where they left us off at with this newest chapter, beginning of the year. Where it's like, all right, now this is completely new.
I bet that's cool.
Now the next phase is super. So it's like we did the tournament, Broly's here. We did some more shit with Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah.
And we did the superhero movie.
Yeah.
So it's almost like everything is back on the table now.
As it should be. I hope that they I gotta catch up to that so I can see what it is.
You're gonna breeze through it so quick.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, when I'll be like hyped, I'm like, oh, the new chapter come out next week. Niggas already the 22nd? Like, nigga, let's fuck. Oh, what we doing? What we doing now? The last chapter, nobody even fight, and I was already hyped. I was like,
that's how it was, man.
Tell them where to find all the things, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Idris Alton. Anything you look up that way, you'll find me. Whether it be on Instagram, online, as my website, and that's where you can see the animations that we're working on. Next thing is coming out is a 5-minute thing to get the GoFundMe going for the pilot. So that's what I'm pushing to, so we can do the first season of Surdy. So
hell yeah, man. Appreciate you coming back. The fans definitely recognize you.
Yeah.
All of last season was definitely trying to bring back some OGs to come back on a podcast because it definitely has been quite the journey. I have to stop myself on a regular to be like, bro, you started a podcast in your aunt's basement.
Right. I know. That's what I remember, man.
And New York City comedians running through. Yeah, I had to stop. I'm like, yo, this is fun. This is good. We can't keep doing this.
But the part that gets me is that you're here now, and that's where it started. Like, that's so crazy to me that it came from that to this to now this. It's like ain't no stopping. Because I was always a fan of the idea in the first place. So to see it happen is like, this is beautiful.
To keep it going, and that's what makes me keep it going too, and to keep trying new things with it.
Yeah.
It's damn near limitless. I'm like, yo, this thing can get me to Japan.
For real.
Like this can seriously, the listeners, you guys,
can
like this can get me to this can get anybody to Japan. Right? Like it's a big mark, especially with the way the world's going now.
Right.
Like, it's just limitless at this point.
It really is, man. And that I don't even say it will. I already know it will. That's more so. I'm like, I just want to see how far it's gonna go because already as is.
Like, and I feel like that's what it really is from just everybody, including myself.
Mm-hmm.
Just like how far can this really?
Yeah.
Because you see it.
Yeah.
More and more every day, more and more people are like, fucking Usher watches. He knows who Gojo is.
Yeah.
From Juju.
Yeah.
Meg Thee Stallion is doing anime themed his diss track.
I know. I'm like, this is so exactly what we should have saw when we were first getting into anime. It's like we weren't the only ones. Everyone else is into it. All niggas is doing it, and who knows how that goes? Because when black people touch anime or black people touch Japanese culture, ain't nothing but good shit happen.
Come on, bro. And then they keeping breakdancing alive too.
I know. Honestly, Asian people and breakdancing, y'all got it. We
got no choice.
We started. Y'all got it.
Nobody don't do it over here.
No more. I ain't seen a board on the floor in a long time except a homeless dude. So
man, Showtime don't even put in no effort like that, bro.
No, it's just different levels.
Nah, man. But Idris, thank you again for coming back on the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been another episode of Negro Jump. Follow us on all of the things, linktree/jump.ent. Let us know what you watching, man. Let me know what you want me to watch. I've been doing anime reactions on the podcast for solo episodes. Yeah. So, like, I'll just watch the episode, and they just plug me in their ears, and we just watch the episode of Attack on Titan. Or
Psychopaths?
I'll watch anything.
Psychopaths is
it. I gotta entertain y'all somehow. We got this space. We got to be strategic with it, but then also I want to play around with the format of Negro Jump. Y'all been listening to this. You've been listening to me ramble about anime for 5 years now. Going on 5, and y'all still listening. And there's new people coming on board. Yeah. And it's like, all right, fuck it.
Yep.
Let's watch some anime. Forget a YouTube video in your ears right now.
Yeah.
Let's watch this Attack on Titan and have me just confused. What the fuck is going on? Like, how is this that popping of the show?
Oh, man.
But you got to give it to them.
Yeah, they killed it. Attack on Titan's killed it. And I didn't even get into it to know all of it in and outs, but Attack on Titan is a different level of one of those shows that...
Undeniable, man.
Yeah, it's one of those shows that people, like, if you want to watch anime for the first time, it's one of those recommended ones. It's on that top 8, top 10 list.
It's not a bad introduction.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's some shit.
Yeah. Quick.
Which is like, that's what all the anime is, though.
Yep.
Like, this is...
different.
It's very different, but folks, that's been enough for us. You have a good rest of your day. Peace.